We'll now be talking about the excretory system and mechanism. Part of the characteristics of living things, we have excretion there. So we want to look at what excretion is all about. Excretion is the removal of toxic or waste products of cell metabolism from the body. The removal of poisonous waste from cell metabolic activities out of the body. These poisonous waste that are as a result of cell metabolism, if not removed, will prevent the maintenance of a steady state. If they accumulate in the body, they will alter normal behavior of the body. So that is why they have to be removed. And such excretory waste products include carbon dioxide from respiration. We just talked about respiration. So carbon dioxide is a byproduct of respiration, so it's removed from the body. Water and salt, also an excretory waste product. Then nitrogenous compounds such as ammonia, urea, uric acid, and the rest. Osmoregulation is a process by which osmotic pressure of the blood and tissue fluid is kept constant within the body of an animal. The process by which you keep the osmotic pressure of the blood and the tissue fluid constant within the body of animal is called osmoregulation. Then what is the need for excretion? The first reason is to remove metabolic waste substances. I said accumulation of such will affect the body system. Then also to remove toxic substances which may affect metabolic pathways. Excretion is done to regulate ionic content of body fluid, also to regulate water content of the body fluid. Excretion is also done to regulate the hydrogen ion concentration, that is the pH of the body fluid. So it is to maintain balance in the body system. Now we'll be talking about the excretory system. So we have the excretory organ, the organism that uses that particular organ, then the excretory products. For amoeba and paramecium, their excretory organ is the contractile vacuole, and the excretory products we have carbon dioxide, we have ammonium salts, and water. Those are the excretory products. Then the excretory organ of the flatworm is the flame cells. Then the excretory product or the excretory organ of earthworm is the nephridia, and the products are water, urea, and carbon dioxide. Gill is used in excretion in fishes, and their excretory products we have carbon dioxide, water, and urea. Then in insects, the excretory organ is the malpighian tubus, and the excretory product is carbon dioxide, uric acid, and water. In mammals, the excretory organ is the kidneys. Then the excretory products we have the carbon dioxide, water, urea, and salt. In plants, the excretory organ is the stomata and the lenticels, and the excretory products are water, carbon dioxide, and oxygen. So we'll now be talking about the excretory mechanisms, the details of excretion in lower animals. And first, I'll be talking about the amoeba and paramecium. Amoeba and paramecium get rid of waste products by diffusion through their body surface. But when this is not enough, they use the contractile vacuole to eliminate waste products such as carbon dioxide, ammonium salts, and water. The contractile vacuole is surrounded by a semi-permeable cell membrane, and the cytoplasm of amoeba is more concentrated than its surrounding water. So water enters by osmosis. The external environment is less concentrated compared to the cytoplasm of amoeba. So osmosis is used, water enters the amoeba by osmosis. Then waste products and water accumulate in the contractile vacuole, which expands periodically and bursts suddenly, discharging the excess water to the exterior of the cell through a small pore in the cell membrane. The summary of the matter is that it is the contractile vacuole that is the excretory organ in amoeba and paramecium, in addition to diffusion that occurs in their body surface, and the contractile vacuole absorb or accumulate water and waste materials till the time that it expands and bursts periodically. Then in flatworm, the flame cell is the excretory organ in flatworm. It is a hollow structure lined with cilia projecting into the cavity of the cell. Then it has a bundle of long cilia which arise from the basal granules in the cytoplasm. The cilia are characterized by their regular undulating movements. Cilia undulate and beat the water surface of the surface of the water. Then the cavity continues as a narrow intracellular duct that is describing the flame cell of the flatworm. This is just the description of the flame cell of the flatworm, and you can see the diagram there. So the cavity continues as a narrow intracellular duct which enters one of the main intracellular ducts. Excess water and waste such as ammonia, CO2 are drawn from surrounding tissue by beating of the cilia. So the action of the cilia actually helps in the removal of waste products. This connects with the excretory tube, and from there the fluid passes to the exterior of the animal. In earthworm, the excretory organ is the nephridia, and the nephridia has a pair in every segment except in the first three and in the last nephridia. Each nephridium opens through the body wall to the exterior on the ventral side as nephridiophore. Carbon dioxide is excreted by diffusion from the epidermal blood capillaries and also in calcium carbonate excreted from the gut by the esophageal pulses. Excess water is expelled from the dorsal pores from the mucous gland. Then the water serves to keep the skin moist for respiratory purpose. Then urea is produced from nitrogenous metabolism and it is excreted by the nephridia, which extract it from the capillary vessels. The cilia of the nephrostome drive the coelomic fluid, which may contain excretory substances, into the narrow tube. Then the urine produced is accumulated in the muscular tube, which opens to the outside through the nephridiophore, and it is empty when the sphincter is opened. Carbon dioxide is also excreted through the surface of the nephridia. In insects, malpighian tubules are the structure that are concerned with excretion, and much of carbon dioxide produced during respiration is eliminated through the cuticle, which is permeable to gases, and then the remainder of the carbon dioxide are excreted through the tracheal system. Insects don't drink water, so they conserve their water, the water they get from their food, by excreting uric acid, which is insoluble in water. So water can therefore be extensively removed from it, the uric acid being excreted in semi-fluid form. So the insect is conserving water since it doesn't take in water. The urine produced passes into the ileum and it is mixed with its feces and excreted via the rectum when more water is absorbed from the food. Excretory mechanism in mammals. The excretory mechanism in mammal consists of four major things. The first are the kidney, two kidneys. They are dark red in color. Can you see the kidneys? Then two ureters. That's the tube that carries urine from the kidney to the bladder. So you can see the long tube reaching from the kidney to the bladder. That's the ureters. Then the bladder itself. Then the urethra. The urethra is the opening of the bladder that releases the urine. Then the kidneys are situated in each side of the spine, in the back of the abdomen, one on each side. Then each kidney is made up of two distinct regions, the cortex and the medulla. The cortex is the dark colored layer Can you see the dark colored layer? That's where we have the cortex. Then the medulla is a light colored layer, which consists of about 8 to 10 pyramids, depending on the organism that has the kidney. Look at this. The pyramid is the purple colored structure. Can you see the star-shaped purple colored structure? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have about 7 in this illustration. So that's a pyramid. Then it also has a funnel-shaped central space called the pelvis. The pelvis is the yellow structure. Look at it. It's at the top, labeled from the top. That's the pelvis. Also, the pelvis leads to the ureter. Ureter is the tube that carries waste in the form of urine to the urinary bladder. So this is the lemon-colored or the green-colored structure, the ureter. It carries urine to the bladder from the kidney. Also, each kidney is made up of numerous functioning units called the nephron. Look at it. The kidney is made up of functioning units called the nephron. The nephron is the basic functional unit of the vertebrate kidney. It performs both function of excretion and osmoregulation. Then each nephron is made up of 6 regions. 6 regions. They have the first is the Malpighian body. The Malpighian body consists of the Bowman's capsule containing the glomerulus. The glomerulus is a network of capillaries. Look at it. This is the Malpighian body. It consists of the Bowman's capsule. Then inside the Bowman capsule is what we have, where we have the network of capillaries called the glomerulus. Sometimes in some diagram it's like thread or like sponge. This local sponge, just in that form. Then the next is the proximal tubule. The proximal tubule is